Okay, so tell me how the Michigan Pet Fund Alliance has brought this place to a better
Well,
position.
Debbie, as that meeting that I had with Debbie here, she pointed out a lot of different things to me. And one of the things that she did was she introduced me to a lot of new best practices. She also introduced me to Jeff Randazzo over at the county shelter, who's had very good success with the shelter and changing that shelter from a high kill shelter to a no kill shelter. So she brought a lot of information to me, and she was emailing me regularly about try this, try that. She introduced me to Tanya Hilgendorf out at Huron Valley, and Tanya has been phenomenal as well. So all the introductions that I got mainly came through Debbie Shutt at the Michigan Pet Fund Alliance. So she's been a tremendous asset. I think without her right now, we probably would not have had the quick success that we've had over the past year.
Tell me about this no-kill shelter.
Okay, the no-kill shelter. Well, as I said, we had a very poor save rate here, and what we did was we took our save rate in this place in since last April when the protesters start. We had about a 36% save rate. Since April of last year, we can boast now that we have a 95% save rate in the shelter, which is phenomenal. In the last year, there's only been 4 animals that have had to be put down, and again, for the same criteria that I told you earlier.
Tell me about the community and how they feel now.
I think the community is much happier because, and this is one of the things that I did, and I'll tell you the reason I think they're happier is because I stopped all donations to this shelter. The shelter has made some good investments over the past years, and it's given us some fairly good amounts of money to be able to spend. Okay, so I stopped donations, and I said to the staff, I said, when we will know when it's time to put the donations on again, because the people outside will start asking us how they can donate to us. And I'm happy to say in the last 4 days, we have had people coming in and saying, how come we're not getting those donation envelopes anymore? So as I said, the people are now starting to recognize that. I'm not going to go out and make appeals right now. Again, we have funds to be able to handle what we're doing. But at some point in time, I think the public's going to demand that we do go back and get donations again.
So it's the, for the public, pets are part of their family.
Absolutely.
Tell me about how you think how important it is for people to have pets as their family.
Well, it's very important for people to have pets because they help the family themselves. They actually provide a little bit of structure around the family itself. They kind of structure themselves around that animal, and it becomes the nucleus sometimes of the family. So whether it be a dog, whether it be a cat or a puppy or a kitten, they grow together, and we see the positive side of adoptions, and we see the sad side of people that have to either surrender their animal or a lost animal that comes in. One of the other reasons why you'll see in our shelter right now, we have directed all our traffic through this door, and we have all our adoptions happening on this side of the building. And on the opposite side of the building is where we do surrenders now. And that's totally new. We used to have those two emotions mixed in the front room. And when you have a happy adoption of emotion being mixed with a sad surrender adoption, it creates all kinds of issues up in there. People are crying, sad. They're supposed to be happy. They're adopting an animal. So we've separated those emotions basically to keep that separate.
Tell me about the happy part. Tell me about a happy family that's come in.
I'll tell you a good story that relates back to Debbie Shutt as well as Tanya Hilgendorf, and that is that we had 3 FIV kittens. That means they were the same as HIV in a human. Okay, kittens notoriously will test positive for that if the mother had it. And what happened is the board came to me and they said, we have these 3 FIV kittens and we need to put them down. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, I need to do a little bit more research on FIV. I need to know more about it. The vet even said we should put them down. So a good positive story, I called Tanya Hilgendorf, and I said, Tanya, what would you do with 3 FIV kittens? She goes, adopt them. Put a medical waiver on them and adopt them. So I came back to them 3 days later and I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a waiver on these. We're going to basically tell these people that they can take this kitten home. We're going to tell them what's going on with it, that it tested positive for FIP. But what we're also, FIV, I'm sorry. What we're also going to do is we're going to tell them in 6 months when the cat's old enough, we will retest it. If it tests positive, we'll give them the option at that point in time of either keeping it themselves if they've become attached to it, or we'll take the kitten back and we'll give them a new one. Within 6 weeks, all 3 of those kittens were adopted. And when they brought up, 2 of them came back for testing and they tested negative. So 3 animals were basically saved because of the coordination between Debbie Shutt, Tanya, and myself.
Wonderful.